Uh, Hi, welcome to Coach in Business. In this episode, I want to talk about the differences between the different types of coaching, especially of life, business, and executive coaching. And let's be honest, we are on Coach in Business, so understanding what coach is, what coaching is, and what types of coaching mainly are on the market is like a first step to being open-minded to take part in the coaching process. So again, live business executive coaching. What are the main dimensions on which we can distinguish between those three types of coaching? Well, the first one is the focus of change. So whom or what we want to change. The second one is the scope of the outcome. So how do we find successful coaching in live business and executive coaching? Well, let's first get into life coaching. When it comes to the question whom or what we want to change, so the focus of change, we want to achieve an internal change of the client. Very important first point. The goal is to achieve an internal change of the client. How do we define success? Well, it's a twofold answer. We define success in life coaching as individual objective success and subjectively perceiving the objective success, which means that when working within a coaching process as a coachee, what you want to do is get or create or get into an internal change process, which will then lead to improvement of objective results, which will help in perceiving those objective results in a more positive way, which will then, of course, in long term, help in developing more strength in any specific field. Let's get into specifics. So, whom or what we want to change? We want internal change of the client. The coachee is always part of the question. So, whom or what we want to change? The coachee. It's not that the coach wants to change the coachee. The coach provides, again, as defined in coaching, the coach provides the framework. The coachee wants to change him or herself. Very important. In life coaching, the coachee is causally responsible for lack of self-defined success. So the coachee is self-defining his success metrics. When am I successful? What do I have to do to be successful? And he or she is self-responsible for it. It's not like the coach is responsible for a lack of success. It's not like your wife or your husband is responsible, no, your kids are responsible. It's you who is responsible for a self-defined success. And again, we are working on internal change, as internal change is a prerequisite for achieving objective success. But how do we define success in a life coaching setting? Well, it's objective sometimes subjective, and success is defined by perceiving the outcomes in a positive way. What we want to do is we want to improve your subjectively perceived life. So sometimes it's not about actually improving, so actually running 100 meters in 9 seconds instead of 10 seconds. It's understanding that running 100 meters in 10 seconds is already a world record time for you as a non-sports guy or a non-sports woman. So subjective success in life coaching is, for example, happiness, for example, fulfillment, for example, well-being. It could be satisfaction, it could be engagement in anything, it could be, for example, financial success as a more objective way of understanding. So then let's get to business coaching. How do we define the focus of change? So whom or what we want to change in business coaching? In general, we want to change, to develop, to improve external behavior and beliefs in a business context. So in life coaching, we were in a private context, in an individual context. In business coaching, we are in a business setting, and we want to improve external beliefs and behaviors of an individual or a group, of course. How do we define success? It's a measurement. It is therefore objectively measurable metric which we want to improve in most cases in business context. Let's get into specifics. When getting into business coaching, we focus on business improvement. We focus on change in external and behavior and beliefs, and we focus on individuals or groups. So in life coaching, we mostly focus on individuals. In business coaching, we focus on groups sometimes. When it depends on the context in which you are doing the business coaching. How is success defined? Success is defined as, in short or long term, the business improvement. It should be measurable. It should be objective. How is business improvement defined? Well, sometimes it might be an inner group thing. It might be a department thing. Sometimes it might be an objective on organizational level. So it might be something like improvements of sales, more sales, for example. But it might be a change in strategy. So if you as a business client define that you are very strictly against change, or your company or your department is very strictly against change, so then a change in strategy of your department, of the group, which is very strictly against it, might be the scope of the change. So if we achieve change, it might be success. Yes. So the next type of coaching is executive coaching. And if we talk about executive coaching and whom or what we want to change and develop and increase, we want to develop executives when it comes to his or her personal development in an executive or a business setting. What does it mean? First of all, the person, the individual we want to help is a executive in any given decision-making situation. So then the goal of coaching such an executive is always to increase the leadership, the executive effectiveness. How do we do it? In many cases, by getting into external behaviors and beliefs. In many cases, getting into internal behaviors and beliefs. So it's not always that when coaching executive that we stay only strictly in the business context. On first sight, it seems that we stay in the business context, but in many cases, to increase leadership effectiveness, you have to get into your internal beliefs and to take a look at them. If they are responsible for you acting in such a way, for you acting out your leadership effectiveness in such a way. This is why a coach in the coaching process delivers the framework for you as an executive to get to understand why your executive effectiveness is high or low. And this means that on when it comes to whom or what we want to change question, we are always focusing on the individual level of the executive. We are focusing on his or her performance. We are focusing on improving the objective leadership effectiveness by personal development, by assistance in personal development. Basically, when it comes to executive coaching, one can define it as a top-down approach, because what you assume is that if you improve the top executive performance effectiveness, it will go down and improve the effectiveness of the organization, of the whole organization. Again, objective performance, leadership effectiveness, with effectiveness being defined as the rate between target outcome and the current outcome caused by current actions. So what you want to do is you want to achieve specific results by your leadership style, and you are achieving some kind of outcome at the moment based on your specific actions at the moment. And effectiveness means the rate by which you are achieving your target state. Again, executive coaching does not mean that you are not touching personal topics. At some points, you might be touching personal topics of an executive. Let's sum it up. Life coaching means that we are focusing on the individual. We are focusing on the impact of who the individual is in life coaching, on his or her actions, and on how the actions, the outcomes are perceived subjectively. In business coaching, we are focusing on the individual or a group, what the group thinks, what the individual thinks, or what the group does, and how it enacts his or her responsibilities. And what you want to take a look at is the impact on business goals. So we are not getting so strongly into subjectively perceiving results, but we are getting into improving objective business results. And on executive level, we want to improve the leadership effectiveness of a executive, of a top management member, by improving the leadership effectiveness. We are doing it by achieving change in external behavior and beliefs, but also by achieving change in internal beliefs. Thank you very much for this episode of Coach in Business. Next episode, we want to talk about the differences in coaching, mentoring, training, and consulting. So for example, I'm actually a digital consultant. I work in digital business. I'm a coach, so those are two different job descriptions when there is mentoring and when there is a training. We will talk about the differences so that you will be able to understand what coaching actually means. So I'm going to say thank you now. Please subscribe, like, share, comment, everything what you can find about Coach in Business. And thank you very much.